Greetings, everybody. This is Leviathan here, and today we're back with more BlizzConline news for you. We've got the schedule reveal, and as we discussed in the last video that we did around BlizzConline, we had some of the early details on it, with it being a 2-day event, February 19th and 20th. If you want more info on that, there'll be a link in the video description. We'll also have a link to this schedule in the video description. But now we've got the juicy details of exactly which panels will be happening across these 2 days. So as you can see right here on screen, we have a 70-minute opening ceremony. This is going to be where they give the grand view of everything, right? All the different franchises, their updates, the brand spanking new products and things to get excited about, maybe franchise reveals, IP reveals, new game reveals, who knows what will be included in here. But you can kind of get an idea of what's going to be front and center based on what has a ton of airtime following the opening ceremony. So, you know, in the sort of greater community of Blizzard, we all expect that the big ticket items here are going to be Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2, and we see as much confirmed in the rest of the schedule because if you look further on after opening ceremony, they did note previously that there would be 6 different channels, sort of the main Blizzard channel, and then these franchise channels. So there's one for WoW, Hearthstone, Diablo, Overwatch, and then what they call strategy, which is like StarCraft and such. So you can see, for us that focus primarily on Diablo here, there's quite a bit of juice coming for the Diablo franchise. There's a 40-minute panel on what's next, so I imagine this will potentially be where a lot of the D4 hype carries over from the opening ceremony into Diablo specifics. That's also rebroadcasted later on the main Blizzard channel, and my thought process is that, you know, for like the more general public or like fans that aren't as engaged with a specific franchise, they'll probably keep their eyes on the main Blizzard channel. And so anything that goes here, I think, is going to be a big ticket item. So when you see WoW, what's next? You know, it's probably like some big patch raid updates coming to WoW. A lot of players are involved with WoW in terms of subscriptions and such. So it's, you know, always been one of Blizzard's big ticket items. Makes sense that that would be on the main channel. Diablo, what's next? I imagine this is again our signal that Diablo 4 will be greatly discussed. You know, one of the main predictions that we have around D4 is that we're going to get a class reveal. The next class, there's 3 that we know of so far with the Sorceress, Barbarian, and Druid, but we don't yet know the other 2. We have a guarantee of 5 at launch, so this will probably be the 4th reveal. And then who knows what else they'll include within that. Maybe more details on PvP or endgame systems. That'd be my dream, just to learn more about what else we'll be able to do in the game besides these keyed dungeons. So I think whatever is going to be major for Diablo 4 will be included in this what's next. And who knows, they may even lump some Diablo Immortal stuff in here too, because there's no specifics in any of these panels as to like this game in particular is what we're talking about at this time. So it could be a combination of things here. Then there's like a little respite here for Diablo with the voice of Deckard Cain, Michael Goff, I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. He's going to discuss the iconic voice of Deckard Cain and answer questions. So it's kind of like I would call that a fluff or filler. It's not for very long either, it's just 10 minutes. And then that leads us into the next sort of bigger panel for Diablo, which is going to be the Diablo Developer Roundtable. It's 40 minutes, and there's going to be roundtable discussions about what we've recently learned. So this is sort of like, I imagine if this what's next is like a lot of videos and like flashy jazzmatazz, if you will, of what's happening within the Diablo franchise, and then this will be more of like talking heads, you know, like people discussing sort of the background of how they came to whatever they're showing us, or like some deeper dives into things. For us detail-oriented people, I think this will be probably the more intriguing panel. And then from there, we have yet another one I would call it more of a filler panel. It's going to be about art. This is from Braum, and he's actually going to be interviewed by his son, which is pretty cool. A one-on-one interview discussing inspiration for haunting contributions to the Diablo franchise. And Braum has made some insane pieces. Really talented artist. So this will be cool if you're really into the art scene, or if you just like the art of Blizzard. There'll be some really cool things here, I'm sure. And then we get to the last panel of day 1 for Diablo, and it's going to be another 40-minute one, a deep dive. So again, I think this is another one that you should really be interested in if you're fully ensconced in the Diablo franchise, because it should have just I hope, a chock-a-block amount of details going into, you know, Diablo 4, Immortal, whatever have you. So it's interesting that, oh, and also another thing to note here from what we were previously talking about with the main channel, is a simulcast on the main channel. So to me, that suggests this should also be pretty juicy as well too, since they want, you know, the sort of general public eyes that I keep ascribing to this main channel also getting this information as well. So I think you got what looks like a lot of Diablo focus here for the general public and obviously for us diehards. Of course, if you're interested in some of the other stuff too, there's a lot of WoW here. So, you know, if you're continuing to play, almost said Battle for Azeroth, whatever the recent expansion is, it's not coming to mind right now, then you're gonna get some info for that as it continues, and people seem to really enjoy it right now. Overwatch 2 stuff, you know, I think that's something a lot of people have been wondering what the heck's going on with that. So that's front and center in the Overwatch universe. And, you know, just a couple of fun things there. And then like we had talked about in the last video, Day 2 is going to be more focused around the community, like a community showcase type stuff. For informational purposes, they do have right at the top of the day Q&As. So basically, I imagine we'll get a ton of info dumped on us Day 1. A lot of people chewing that up, thinking about it, and then being able to throw questions back at Blizzard. And those will get kind of summed up and hopefully answered well in these Q&A panels that we have. So you get a full hour at the beginning of the second day for any questions, burning questions that you've got to be answered. And I think they're even taking some of those already, which to me would be weird because we don't know what's happening yet, but I do think that the majority of them are going to be collected and come from seeing the reveals on Day 1. And then as you can see, there's a lot of community showcase type stuff. It's across all the channels, so there's like a huge simulcast thing with Darren DePaul, who's an awesome dude, coming in to talk about cosplay and all sorts of stuff, art, storytelling, what have you. We do have another cool artist sort of big block here, 2 parts to it of looking at the Hive Mother here for Diablo. It looks like with multiple artists from the Diablo team, they're going to put together a boss monster like live in front of us, which is pretty cool. Again, if you love the art stuff, you got a lot of that going here. And these are some panels that I know for myself, I usually don't have a lot of time assigned to them at in-person BlizzCons because there's so much to do. You're always running around trying demos and stuff like that. But since you're just a captive audience here to an online stream, you'll be able to see everything that you may have wanted to see in the past. Plus, of course, VODs, rebroadcasts, all that good stuff. So there's a big block here of art at the end of the day. But again, it's another thing where Day 2 is a lot more about just like, you know, community, art, all that sort of more creative side of stuff. And then there is a little section here at the end to close out the show where Sarah Lynn Smith is going to wrap it up. She also has a wrap-up thing on Day 1 as well too, which I think will just be a summary of like some of the higher highlights and hits and stuff. And then this will just kind of be hopefully a feel-good closer for BlizzConline. And that's basically it. So now we know exactly what to look forward to. Again, big day is going to be February. Make sure you don't miss it. You can see the times here. In my time zone, Eastern, it's starting at 5 p.m. So schedule whatever you need to, get the time off. This is not very far away now, just about 10 days or so. I'm very excited. I hope that there's going to be so much good juice for Diablo in particular because, you know, we as D4 develops, and we know that it's still quite far out, right? If you're being realistic with yourself, it's still pretty far. But just any inkling of stuff we can get that kind of pushes that snowball along to make it bigger and bigger as we get to the final huge snowman at the end. You know, I want to keep rolling it, so I want to see what else we've got coming. Again, hop into the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking. You know, what excites you here on the schedule? What kind of predictions can you make about what will happen? I'll be trying to bring you as much coverage as I can from this event as we lead up to it and also as it happens. So stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you always helping me out because it does go a long way. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Adios for now.